Well, welcome to another episode of Marking the Times. This is Dr. Mark Hitchcock. I'm here in my office at Faith Bible Church in Edmond, Oklahoma. And as I come to you today, really everybody's watching everything on television, on news. It's happening over in Afghanistan. And, all of us probably are watching it with a lot of different emotions, probably different emotions at different times. Horror, seeing what's happening over there with people and really knowing what their future is going to be like. Confusion about how all this happened. I mean, it's kind of difficult to have missed the mark this badly, even if you tried. A profound sense of sadness for many families who lost men and women there, American families who wonder if really the loss of their child or their husband or their wife, if the loss of their life was really all for nothing. Maybe a lot of anger kind of mixed in there as well. So there's all kinds of different feelings that are going on, taking place. So we need to be praying for those who've served there in Afghanistan. I called a friend of mine this week who won 2 Silver Stars in Afghanistan. He was a Green Beret there for many years. Called him to talk to him and just try to encourage him. And he told me, he said, it's so good to hear from you. He says, I think pretty much everybody's forgotten about me. And so just to think about that, if there's someone who served there in Afghanistan or has a family member who served there, maybe lost a family member, to call them up and just to give them encouragement during this time, I think is very important. With all this happening, I know you've all listened probably to a lot of commentary, what a lot of people have had to say. I think, one of the things that I see from this, if you want to kind of look at this on the geopolitical scene and even look at it, prophetically, is it seems to me right now, and I could be wrong about this as the future unfolds, but it seems to me that President Biden is a mortally wounded president at this point in time. I don't know if this is something he's going to be able to recover from. He already appears to many people as kind of weak and feeble and not in full possession of his faculties. And this just heightens that and adds to that. And the thing that's bad about that for our country, it's bad in a lot of ways, but it hurts us out on the geopolitical scene. I read one person who was commenting on this, a very, very good commentator, was talking about how we haven't seen Vice President Kamala Harris at all. And some of these writers are really good at the way they say things. He said Kamala Harris doesn't really want to be associated with President Biden right now because he has the stink of failure and defeat upon him. And that's a pretty graphic way to put it. He kind of has this stink of failure and defeat. And even it seems like the vice president doesn't really want that to be that closely associated with him right now. But a couple of things about this that I think are important prophetically as we look ahead. One thing we've talked about quite a bit on Marking the Times is that the issue of America's decline. America is not mentioned as a superpower in the end times in the Bible, which means something must happen to America. And those of you who've listened or watched some of our videos before, know that I believe that it's ultimately the rapture that will reduce America to being a second or a third-rate nation overnight. But still, I do think the rapture will happen probably in kind of in a convergence of a lot of other things as well that are already weakening our country. And what we see happening, some are even saying this could be the end of NATO, that our NATO allies are not going to respect us or trust us any longer. And so this action that's taken place weakens our position with our allies in America, but it also weakens our power against our enemies. So we've been weakened in the eyes of our allies, and we've also been greatly weakened in the eyes of our enemies. And I think anyone that knows anything about geopolitics knows that when America is perceived as weak, all of the world is in grave danger from bad actors who want to come in and fill the power vacuum when they believe that America is weak. So I think this is just kind of one more step, if you will, in this decline that we see in America. Now, could things turn around? Could God bring revival to our country? Certainly he could, and we want to pray for that. We don't want to be defeatists. But I think we also see, though, how the decline of America that seems to be a part of the biblical scenario for the end times, how that's taking place. And it seems to be escalating. We seem to be kind of in a downward spiral. Some might even refer to that as a death spiral that America's in. So, this can open our country up for more terrorism. Obviously Afghanistan, that's the seedbed of what happened on 9/11. It's going to be now a launching pad for terror against our country. So kind of just America's decline. The other way I think this could very well fit in is Ezekiel 38 predicts, as we've talked about again many times, a Russian Islamic invasion of Israel in the end times. And Russia, or Rosh, is mentioned in Ezekiel 38, as is Persia, which is modern-day Iran, but also Magog. And Magog's the underbelly of the old Soviet Union. I call them the Stans. Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, these different nations. But then you also have another Stan, Afghanistan, that's part of that area of Central Asia that really is encompassed in Magog. And again, when you see, the Taliban, which really in some ways is just the same thing as saying Al-Qaeda. I mean, they're so blended together. They're declaring now the new name for Afghanistan is the Islamic Emirates, the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. So here you're going to have this Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan run by the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. You can see how when the events of Ezekiel 38 and 39 begin to happen and be formed, they will gladly be a part of any Islamic invasion of the nation of Israel. So this is kind of another step of the hardening of Afghanistan to be a part of what's predicted in Ezekiel 38 with Magog as one of the allies for that. All of us need to be praying for people in Afghanistan right now, praying for our leaders. They've bungled this up terribly, but that somehow people can get out of there safely. We need to be praying for Haiti at this time as well and all the things that are happening down there as well, praying for our brothers and sisters in Christ in these places. Well, thank you for joining us. God bless you. Hope you have a good week, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.